taking care of the sponsorship for today's trainings. So any of these trainings that you see coming from me are literally most of the time sponsored by a small business center somewhere or organization because they believe in you guys, right? They believe in entrepreneurship and small business being the backbone of our communities. So thank Southeastern for that today. If you are joining live in the Google Meet room for Q&A, feel free. You can turn your camera on. You can ask questions. You can drop Q&A at any time, and I try to address those questions in real time. All right. If you're watching live, I'm not actually live on platforms. So if you're on my Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or LinkedIn channels, then I'm going to be going back and reviewing you guys' questions and answering them that way. Okay. So now that we got everybody on the same page, let's get started with this bossing up your brand because we got a lot of stuff to talk about, right? We are in second quarter of 2025. There's a lot, I swear, so much movement going on administratively in the U.S. Revolving around all sorts of things, but small business is being touched by it. So here's the thing. We have to adjust what's going on in the systems around us, right? And we have to be super, super smart about that, guys. We cannot be lax about this thing. So, which is one reason that brought me to wanting to do this training today. It's all about bossing up your brand and your bio, refreshing and repositioning to help you convert your followers into paying customers this summer. So if you are ready to transform your brand presence, then it's time to attract the right clients and to boost your sales. And that time is now. Second quarter is the best time for you to be doing that in any small business. Third quarter is definitely too late. You want to be making plans in first quarter, but if you don't catch it then, you definitely have to catch it now. So this summer is your season to reposition, not just to hustle harder, because we don't always need to hustle harder, but I posted something on YouTube this morning that said you need to organize your hustle, right? So you don't need a complete rebrand here. We just need a strategic refresh. So that's all I'm here to talk to you about, not a whole makeover, right? And if you want the whole makeover, I can do that for you too. But what we're talking about today is just refreshing before you get to that point. So let's figure out how to turn your brand into a powerful magnet for your ideal clients. That's where we're going with this whole thing. First of all, let's talk about what's actually working in 2025, right? What's working right now? Personality-driven branding is it. So when you're mixing your personal brand with your business brand, this is where our secret sauce is this year in 2025. People are buying from people. They're not buying from logos. Use your particular story and your voice to connect with people authentically, because we are easily approaching a day and age that's going to be completely transformed by AI if it hasn't already been already. So you are probably reading a lot of posts and different things on people's pages that you can automatically tell with the naked eye and just by the voice and the tone, oh my God, that's written by ChatGPT. Oh my God, that's written by Grok. Oh my God, that is written by this or this or this. Even this presentation, I wrote this material and put this into Gamma, but AI has actually churned out this presentation and the graphics for me. So that's how heavily influenced we are being by AI right now. So with that influence comes a huge amount of recognition, and people are starting to understand some of the differences between what's real and what's not, whether it's really your voice or whether it's not, whether it's something you would have written or it's not. If I see a ton of hyphenations, that's ChatGPT. If I see a ton of semicolons and stuff, I know it's Grok. I know that's how, yeah, for real, Mike, y'all are seeing the subtle cues already, right? So here's the thing. People are starting to identify that, especially Gen Z. Like, these kids are quick to the game. So people are starting to notice that. So make sure your stuff is authentic, because people are really being personality driven, and they want to see your personal brand shine through a whole lot more. They want to hear your story. This is no lie. I did an ad on Instagram just by rewriting my story this past week, just to test out this theory, because I'm not going to give y'all anything that I haven't tried myself, right? So I was testing out the theory to see how well people are actually kind of connecting to, your own brand voice, your authenticity. And I literally wrote my story out about how I've worked 3 jobs, how I've been laid off from jobs, how I've been fired from jobs, how I've maxed out credit cards and all of this stuff in an effort to try to find myself and figure out where I'm supposed to be in entrepreneurship, right? So I wrote this whole story as an Instagram post. And I put it out there, but then I boosted it for a few dollars just for a week to see what the traction was. And I literally have gotten like about 80 new follows in a week just off of that one post with just a few dollars. People are looking for authenticity. Now, that few dollars that I spent on that ad is probably just going to come back in a couple of digital product purchases, but that's how your brand story converts into paying dollars. All right. So what else is working? Let me stay on track with y'all. What else is working? Bio first, visibility. So that's why I wanted to include the word bio in this whole refreshing the brand concept, because your bio is literally a digital billboard for you. So you have 3 seconds. You have 3 whole seconds, uno, dos, tres, to convert, right? To make it count. That hook has got to be amazing. Your bio has got to stand out, right? It's got to separate yourself. It's got to be catchy. It's got to be memorable. It's got to resonate. That's what it has to cover. But people want to see bio first energy. So it's all coming back to you, full circle, right? And I know as business owners, we get super excited about, hey, this is my product. This is my service. I want to sell it. I want to market it. Market you. Personal brand is what's selling. Pick up on that and don't miss this beat for the summer. The last thing that's really working as far as branding in 2025 is what we call mini media mogul energy, right? So all like an influencer type energy, to be your own influencer, where you're turning your brand into an actual channel. Now, what's different between posts and feeds? The difference between when we say a feed and a channel is this: it's experience, right? When people are on your feed, they're simply maybe clicking, engaging, sharing, whatever, and it may be digested or it may not, and it may not be as memorable, right? But when we're talking about turning your brand into a channel, people repeatedly revisit channels because you're establishing yourself as the authority in that industry, right? You're establishing yourself as the person who makes the difference in that field. And your brand is going to be different from any others. Mini media mogul energy. Say it 3 times real fast, right? But what I want you to do to go from just having a feed to creating an actual channel that people want to revisit and engage with and come back and shop with, learn from, all of this kind of stuff, and book with, is create content series, right? So I know you guys have probably heard of content pillars before, and those are about 4 or 5 main points that you're going to be covering out your series of content to help you promote your business. The things that are most attractive to folk, right? The things that are most attractive. Create weekly content series that's going to showcase your experience. Now that showcase can go anywhere from A to Z. But the point is you select those content pillars, right? You put it out there, and then you're creating a content series based on those pillars. So for instance, if you're in retail and you've got this skirt that you want to sell out on, or you got this outfit, this hat, whatever, we know that we have this new product that we want to launch. So first in our series, we're going to build anticipation. That's number 1. We're going to get people excited about what we're doing. And then so that could be something like pre-sale, pre-offer, new product coming, stay tuned, whatever. Don't miss this. Stay on board with me. Stay tuned. What's up? Check in with me on Tuesday because this is dropping, right? We wanted to pick up to be really hot, really catchy content series. Build anticipation first. Next thing you're going to do is actually announce the product. Put it out there for people to see. But don't just put it out there in a simple way to say, hey, this just dropped. Here it is. This is what it looks like. Talk about the real solutions and talk about the solutions in a series. This thing is going to make you look slimmer. This thing is going to make you look cuter. This thing is going to be bomb this summer. This is what everybody's wearing this summer. This is what everybody's purchasing. This is how you handle this. This is how you build that, right? And it's got to have a strong CTA. So along with you telling the story and talking about the benefits, the solutions of what your offering provides, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to follow that up with some real call to actions that help people understand it's time for me to purchase. It's time for me to seal the deal. If I miss it, I'm going to completely lose out. And you want to be so exciting in your content that people feel like they are missing out on something if they miss you. Here's what's working in 2025. If you miss this, you won't catch the vibe this summer, okay? Personality driven branding. It's all about your story with the business, right? Your bio first. Make sure you got strong visibility and set up a really cool digital billboard for yourself. If you have not rewritten your Facebook bio, your LinkedIn bio, your YouTube bio, or your Instagram bio, you want to take a look at those profiles and you want to refresh what's in there. So I went from on my Instagram, let me see if I can pull it up on my phone real quick just to tell y'all, but on my Instagram profile, I went from just listing that I was Biz Coach C, a small business consultant and entrepreneur who starts and grows new businesses, to that actually changing to helping future CEOs start strong. No business yet, no problem, start here. So personality driven branding, it highlights my personality. It gives them visibility into the bio so they immediately know what they're getting to convert. And then the last thing is that strong CTA in there, which is telling them, hey, if you don't have a business yet, that's no problem. Then you start right here. So you're literally guiding them in the best thing to do to work with you. So think about it this way. If your brand was a person, would you want to hang out with it? For real. If your brand was a person, would you want to hang out with it or would you ghost it after the first 3 seconds? That's the question for you. Answer that. Think about your own brand and don't try to put yourself in the shoes of a business owner. Try to put yourself in the shoes of a seller, right? Or a lead or a potential buyer. That's what I want you to do here. All right, let's talk about your bio and brand checkup. Now, if you were going to the doctor, let me take you to the clinic for a minute. I got my tea right here. And this is herbal tea, y'all. This is so good. This is from the Butterfly Tea Company. It's called A Taste of the Motherland. It's for calm relaxation. So I'm putting a plug in for the Butterfly Tea Company and Shannon Daniels, my girl who brews teas and blends them herself. Now, bio and brand checkup. Let's check up on what you guys have been doing. And here's what I want you to do. I'm taking your brand to the doctor, right? All right. Get ready. I'm not going to tell you to put on one of these backless gowns or anything because I don't want to do y'all like that. But what I am going to tell you is that in order to do this checkup, that you got to be real with me. Okay. You got to be real and honest with yourself. And here's where we're going to start. You got to make sure that your bio and your brand is clear because people hate things that don't involve clarity. Nobody likes for messages to be convoluted, to be confusing, to be disruptive. Nobody likes for messages to be in total chaos because they can't follow you and they're not going to follow you and they're not going to spend their money with you if it's not clear on what they're spending the money on because money's too hard to come by. Let's establish that. So if a person is purchasing from you, they've worked hard for that money and they're not going to give up that money without a certain level of clarity. It's your responsibility as the business owner to make sure that you're doing the checkups to say, I'm checking these boxes to make sure that I do have complete clarity so people are comfortable spending their money with me. That's your responsibility. We can't leave that to the customer, right? So here's the thing. Does your bio and brand clearly state who you help and how you help them in under just 10 seconds? You got to say that in under 10 seconds flat, right? That's it. Try to say it in under 5, really, but it definitely has to be under 10. And then what about the people that you're actually trying to reach? Who's your target? And I know you guys hear target audience like a million times a month as small business owners, but I'm going to say it to you again. Is your messaging still attracting the right people? Who are your dream clients right now? Who do you want buying from you? And you guys have got to think about this. And I know sometimes it gets hard because we're doing everything ourselves in our own businesses, right? But I got another YouTube video that I just posted today that says, I need you to slow down to speed up. And what I mean by that is I need you to take the time to put together all the revenue generating systems and processes that are going to help you be successful. You slow down to do that because when you slow down to do that and you begin to get results from them, then your business starts speeding up. And then you can get all of the deposit notifications on your phone, on your laptop, whatever it is, right? So take the time to make sure you're rethinking who are the people that I want buying from me right now. Like literally, what financial bracket do those people fall in? Are they from a specific demographic area? Are they married? Are they single? Do they have kids? You know, like, are they veterans? Who is your demographic? And or a tired audience. For real, is your messaging still attracting your dream clients or a tired audience? If you're reaching and teaching and talking to the same people, they may be getting tired because they're not seeing anything new. So that's the whole point of this refresh, right? So ideal audience, think there. That's your next part of this checkup. So if I were your doctor and you were sitting in the exam room with me, that clarity, I'd be looking at your eyes first. And then I would kind of be listening to your heartbeat to hear who's that ideal audience, what's pounding in those ears and in those head and in that head, right? What is it? Consistency check. Here's the next thing about it. Now I'm checking your reflexes here, because are you consistent across all of your touch points? Is your social media setup the same, where you are recognizable, but the information not being repetitive and understimulating, right? Are you consistent across all of your touch points? So basic rule of thumb, and my girl Maribel Sanabria will tell you this, who's a guru in AI and marketing. You have to have a minimum of 9 touch points at least on average to get someone to purchase your product or service. But what you need to do is just start with consistency across at least 3 of those touch points. That could be website, that could be email marketing, that could be your IG or social media platforms. It could be billboards that you have up somewhere. But you need to make sure, we're going to start out simple here. I'm not going to give you the whole shebang in one dip. So are you consistent across at least 3 touch points that if anybody found you on those touch points, they would recognize you within that first 5 to 10 seconds. And they would immediately know, I belong here and I want to stay here and I want to keep coming back here because I may find something else, right? Okay. Y'all guys, tell me if I'm being boring now. Tell me if you're learning anything. And don't forget, if you got comments, I need you to drop them for me. Drop your comments for me and questions. And I love emojis because they let me know that you guys are listening, right? Okay, cool. I see you, Cheryl. What's up, girl? I see you, Mike. All right. Professional look, right? We can't get past that. We can't get past professional look. I see you. Whoever that is, the SBH, I saw you. All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that so much. So a professional look. Here's what's up. And if you are joining live, like, I'm not responding to your comments now, but feel free to drop them, comment, whatever platform you're watching on. All right. Does your brand look as professional as the transformation that you're promising people? Because we don't want to be out here giving empty promises, right? So our brand needs a really sharp and professional look. Does it look as professional as the transformation that you're promising? So that skirt or that outfit that you are posting, does it look clean in that picture? Is it HD quality graphics? Are the videos coming across nice and clear? Like, are your training videos nice and clear? Can you be heard loud and clear? Make sure the look reflects the actual substance, right? Make sure that you are promoting your transformation appropriately, because if you're not, people are not going to be tuned into what you're doing, right? So your bio shouldn't just tell what you do, and neither should your brand, but it should also tell us why we should trust you to do it for us. That's the key to it. So now you've had your checkup, you've gone to the doctor. Now we're getting ready to leave and walk back out into this world and show people what we're working with. So it's time to reintroduce yourself. What did Jay-Z say? Allow me to reintroduce myself. Now I want you to start reintroducing yourself like this. So this is what we're going to do to reposition our brand for this summer, right? And you can use this anytime, but I definitely need you implementing this now if you want to see change in your revenue growth over the 3rd and 4th quarters of this year. So let's understand that the tools that I'm giving you today are for you to increase your revenue this year. I'm not talking about implement next year, because these are practical steps that you can take to do it now, because that is all Biz Coach C is going to give you, is things that you can actually implement now to make a difference to your bottom line and even to your top line, because I want to impact in your revenue first, right? Before we even get down to the net profit, I want to impact in the top line of revenue that you've got coming in first. So here's what we're going to do to reposition you this summer. You're going to look at who. That's the first question. You're going to look at who your specific ideal client is, and you're going to really reconsider that. Think about it, talk about it with a really close circle, because you need to understand who you're selling to, because it may not even be the same people that you were talking to in first quarter. It may have evolved a little bit. It's definitely probably going to be a little bit different from the people that maybe you've been dealing with last year, right? So think about who, and then we've got what. And what is going to be your result, or what is going to be your product or your service, and the transformation that's going to happen once somebody purchases from you. So this is really important, because as small business owners, we aren't really thinking about the outcomes that our buyers are experiencing when they invest in our products and services. We're thinking about, is it going to work? Is it going to continue to sell? How can I continue to promote it? What do I need to do to make sure that I'm getting consistent sales? All of that stuff that we're thinking about on the back end is literally on the back end. Like on the front end of that, we've got, what are they actually experiencing when they purchase from me? So what is happening with the buyer? And you've got to really put that at the forefront first, right? That goes first. So then I want you to turn that who and that what into how. How is it going to happen? So this is going to be your unique approach or your method to making this happen. So whether you're going to be using organic content to continue to reach out and connect with people on a more personal level, or whether you're going to be using paid ads to push your content out to more people in much quicker ways. And they may be cold, warm, or hot leads, but you've got a lead qualifier and making sure that you understand how to transform that. So whether you're giving them a freebie, whether you're leading them to a maybe low value or low cost product on your website or on your social media page or wherever, how are you going to have a unique approach or a unique method to reach your subset of people? What does that look like for you, right? The last thing that I want you to think about is something that's very real that we hate to talk about, but not everybody is going to say yes initially. And if you're a service-based business like me, and we're having conversations with leads, then we have to be ready to face objections. And even if you don't have a service-based business and it's product-based, you still are going to get questions, DMs, concerns. People are going to be in your chat bot asking questions. If you're that advanced and you got one on your website, which I definitely encourage you to do, I'm getting ready to add a chat bot to my website to help answer folks' questions without me having to get involved. Saves a ton of our time, and it really promotes our brand and make us look more of like that authoritative role, right? So be ready to handle objections and understand, or at least be ready to understand what people believe is stopping them from purchasing with you. So what people believe is stopping them from purchasing with you and what is actually stopping them may be two different things. Hear me loud and clear. Because sometimes people will say affordability is the issue when it's really not. Money management is their issue. And so you may have to guide them to the fact that you may have to promote the actual solution more in that case and say, hey, look at where their real value lies and begin to become a little bit of a sales psychologist to say, how can I ask this person some predetermining questions to help me qualify whether they would be ready to purchase my product or service or not. And so let me bring that home in layman's terms just a little bit. So if you have somebody that's saying, oh my gosh, I don't think I can afford it. What makes you think you can't afford it? Well, it's actually $50 and I'm only around a $20 range right now. Well, understanding that you only have $20, what is it exactly that you need most to come from this product or service? And whatever it is they say, make sure you can respond on the premise that this will deliver the result that you want. It will deliver the result that you need. It may be more of an investment because it's going to be your exact match and it's going to save you more in the long run. So if you invest in this now, then you're able to either make this money right back or get that instant result that you want, that instant gratification that so many people want. but you got to be ready to handle the conversation of objections. And please don't look at it objectively, because if somebody's not purchasing a product or service, you're not the one for sale. Okay. You're not for sale as an individual. It's what you are providing as a product or service that's for sale. So people are not saying no to you. Hear me loud and clear, please. People are not saying, I don't want Bobby, I don't want Candace, I don't want Cheryl, I don't want Clarissa, I don't want Dana, I don't want Edna, I don't want Jessica, I don't want Lanisa, I don't want Mike, I don't want whoever my SB is here in the live chat room. So they're not saying I don't want you as a person, right? They're saying, I don't think that this product or service is right for me for whatever reason. That's an objective approach to handling objections. Don't take it personally, because the moment you do, you instantly lose the sale and you've instantly compromised your brand that you've worked so hard to build. We don't want that, right? So don't go there. Don't take it personally. Be ready to handle objections. Think about them, plan for them. Transform yourself. So as a coach, I would say I'm a coach helping entrepreneurs into something like I help entrepreneurs build businesses that actually pay them back. So instead of saying I sell women's clothing, I sell women's clothing that's going to make them shift heads in the room when they walk in, or make them feel like a brand new woman every time they put a piece on. I write content as a copywriter that helps sell itself. Your content will literally convert itself without you having to continue to do this or do that. So there are so many things that you can do to reintroduce yourself. And I want to be your sounding board, right? I'm Biz Coach C. I'm here to help you, like I said. So I'm your springboard into this thing. If you need a free strategy session, say that. Just speak up, and I got you. I promise I got you. Anybody who's ever worked with me before will tell you I got you, and I'm not going to nickel and dime you for everything. We can literally email, text. I've got a business number that you can text to say, hey, let me run this by you, or shoot me a DM and say, what does this sound like to you? And I'm going to give you some real recommendations, right? So now you don't have any excuse, because I'm your business coach. It's inevitable. You showed up today. We're here. You're locked in. All right. Brand refresh steps that convert. So now we've talked about, let me rehash for a second to make sure you guys hadn't missed anything. So what we've covered was, so far, we talked about what's working in 2025. Then I took you to the doctor and you got a checkup for the brand to let you know where you stand. And then we're leaving that office now, and we're reintroducing ourselves, and we're repositioning our brand to step up. And we're able to handle any objections, right? And we're writing that new message that defines who we are as business owners. And we're going to be implementing this now in the summer so we can get the revenue turnover in Q3 and Q4 of this year. So I'm not talking about putting this off for later. We're talking about doing it now that we're all caught up. The next thing that we're going to talk about is the money, is actually converting your brand and making it stand out. And if your brand is not selling, and this is something that I posted on the event page today, if your brand is not selling itself, then it definitely is time for a refresher. So if you are not getting sales consistently, let me just make this clear. If you're not getting sales consistently, then you need to work on your brand. There are some other things that go along with that. Could be pricing, could be target audience, all of those things, but they're all going to drive back to this one point in understanding how you establish yourself in the market. And your brand is such a huge part of that it touches everything. Okay? Brand just touches everything. So here's what you're going to do to make the money. Literally, these first 3 steps. I want you to audit all of your digital spaces. I want you to clean up your old posts, any dead links, any confusing biographies, any mismatched visuals, things that look off. If you have an Instagram profile and you've never gone through that profile and archived the old posts where you've transformed your message over time, but then as people start scrolling down and see more things in your feed. So whether people are visiting your page or not, even your old posts are showing up in people's feeds, because the algorithm still shows them things that may be relative. So what you want to do is you want to go in on your profiles and you want to archive and if you're going to delete, save some of your visuals or stuff if you'd like to repurpose your content to save time. But you want to clean up those old posts. You definitely want to check for any links that you have posted that aren't working anymore, because we hate 404s. Nobody loves a 404. You want to get rid of any crowded, wordy, confusing biographies. Keep it clean, keep it short, because the more generations go along, the less information they want to read and the more visual they get, right? So clean up the bio. Clean up the bio, make it direct. Hook, story, offer, make it count. And clean up any mismatch visuals. So any visual that does not look like it's aligning with what your purpose is, what your mission is, what your business is all about, we want to clean all of that up, okay? Now, here's the second thing that you're going to do to make sure your brand is actually selling. I want you to clarify what your core offer is. Make it really clear. And don't name 2 or 3 things here. And I know you are going to be so tempted to do it, but if I catch you doing it, I'm going to get you. Just know I'm coming after you if I catch you offering people more than one thing at a time and giving them more than one CTA at a time, because you're going to confuse folk and they're not going to purchase from you, right? Clarify your core offer. And you do this, you make it really clear by making sure the visual is really clear and the words around that main product or service are what you want people to hear. You've got main words that you're going to be using, and it's what we often call keywords, right? Y'all follow me? Because what picks up on keywords? Algos pick up on keywords. SEO picks up on keywords. And people's minds subconsciously pick up on keywords. So update the graphics with it and make sure you have the matching words to surround that main product or service that you're trying to sell. Now, your main product or service that you're trying to sell may be a lower level offer that you're using as something introductory just to get people introduced, get them in the door, and then you're going to offer them a value ladder, or you're going to upsell them on your services until they start reaching other things that are of greater value to them and will actually bring in more revenue to your business. But make sure whatever that is, that you're really clear about it, right? And having said offer, freebie is not always the initial thing that we need to put in front of someone, right? Because free does not communicate value. Free communicates access and open access and open access. So when we're offering freebies, they don't necessarily say quality. Freebies say, I have access to information when I need it, or I have access to tools or products when I need it. And you may not want to be putting yourself out there, your brand, especially. You're trying to make revenue these last 2 quarters. So remember, if we're doing all of this to convert, then we've got to make an offer. So there needs to be a value. There needs to be a price attached to this. Don't be afraid to charge a price. If you're not sure how to set your prices, then I got a course on my website for that you can download, right? And it's really affordable, but it will teach you how to do that. But update the visual, make sure it says what it says. I'm going to digress there. All right. Update your brand story. I want you to tell people how and why you do what you do, because now is the time to bring this new energy, right? It's like fresh rain. Seriously. Update your brand story. Summer is the perfect time to do it. Just like some people say summer is the perfect time to get highlights, or some people say fall. Summer is the perfect time to do this, do that, whatever. Switch your makeup color. I know, because what, you're supposed to go darker makeup color in the summer or something like that. Anyway, update your brand story. Tell people how and why you do what you do, and figure out somewhere to squeeze that in your no longer your feed, right? Because we're not saying our content feed anymore. We're saying our channel. Literally, what's on your Facebook channel? What's on your Instagram channel? What's on your LinkedIn channel? What's on your YouTube channel? I want you to think about that in terms of channels with your social media pages, and not just a page, because you want people to revisit, you want people to engage, you want people to learn, you want people to share. People only do that stuff with channels. They don't do that while they're just thumbing through their feed naturally. They do that when they're serious about engaging with a brand that they care about or that they want to do business with. All right. Transformation. That's how you get the money. Update your digital spaces, every single one of them. Slow down to speed up. I promise you, do it. You'll win every single time. Make sure you have an actual dollar assigned offer and not just a freebie. And make sure you're communicating that. And that's very clear by updating your visuals and the words surrounding it. Make sure you're using great keywords. You can do keyword research with Google Analytics, right? And some other platforms. You use AI to actually help you build out keywords also. Update your brand story. Tell the story about how you make it all happen and why. I'm going to go Simon Sinek on you and tell you it is still important to communicate your why. So this isn't just a makeover, right? This is about refreshing a brand and making it strategic so that you can make money move throughout your business. And dollar signs are attached to each one of these things in the background with what's happening with what you're doing here. So this is actually how you're going to convert over to the payments. All right. Summer content. And don't forget, now, if you have questions, whatever, comments, suggestions, feedback, if you don't like what I'm saying, put that in the comments too. If you disagree, I'm here for it, right? Because I'm a lifelong learner. I'm here to grow. I'm here to learn just as well as teach. So here's the thing. Here's what's next. Summer content strategy. All right, we've got to have a great, and robust content strategy for the summer. So here's what I want you to do to help yourself. And this is going to make it fun because right now, up to this point, you've gotten a ton of homework for me and nothing really sounds that fun, right? It sounds like it'll make money, yes, and practical and something you can actually implement. But now let me make it fun for you a little bit because I don't want to be dismissive. I care about y'all. I have to give you some fun things to do too. So I want you to create a summer theme, right? For your business, if you haven't already done this. If you're a seasonal business, you might be ahead of the game with me a little bit, but if not, here's what you do. Create a summer theme. And I want you to choose a concept. It could be something like, and this is for yourself. This is not for your customers, your leads, your potential customers to see, right? This is for you. You're doing this internally. This is part of your internal infrastructure here that you're building for the summer. So you can call it your visibility summer. You can call it your boss up summer. You can call it your boss moves on, whatever you want to call it. I want you to name your content strategy for the summer. Give it a theme, right? Then I want you to batch your content. Batch your content. Create it, right? Get your reels together, get your blogs together, get your emails together. You can use Metricool. You can use Planoly. There's so many platforms out here for you to do this. If you need help, let me know. I'll either help you myself or put you in touch with one of my colleagues who is amazing with marketing if I've got too many clients going on at one time. But prepare all of your content, right? And you can think this through. I love Canva. I swear, like y'all, I use Canva for almost all of my content. I also love to use CapCut. I use CapCut for a lot of my reels and things like that. I think right now I have, what other app is it? I'm looking at my phone. I've got Mojo that I'm using. I use Rimini to help me out with some of my photos to make them, to just kind of edit some of the photos. I use Geo. So, and some of these have like either very low cost or free versions on their platforms that you can use to batch your content. I have a virtual assistant. So once I have my stuff batched out, we literally share a Google sheet where I'm putting the link to the visual. The next column is the caption that I want written in it. Then there's the date. There's a platform that I want it posted on. The platforms are on each tab. There's the date, the caption, the visual, if there's a CTA, all of this stuff, right? Because we don't want to hustle harder. We want to take our hustle that we're already going so hard for and just organize the hustle that we're in, right? So if you're organizing that hustle, it looks like batching your content. So do that for me. Next thing I want you to do for this summer content strategy, and I hope that y'all are taking notes. Let me see if you're taking notes. Anybody taking notes? Drop a comment. Give me an emoji, something. Let me know if yes, come through, note taker, come through. All right. Launch your reintro campaign. So what we're doing right now, right? We're refreshing what we're going to be doing to relaunch our brand this summer. So in In the spirit of taking notes, you do have to write stuff down, right? Because it gets into your nervous system. It actually becomes real, right? It's not just dynamic anymore, then it's something static. It's gonna, okay. Post your reintroduction and drop your whatever brand glow up you've got going on. So I've got freebie here, but I also want to replace that with low cost product, right? So write down what your reintro campaign is going to look like. So all of that, how am I going to describe myself? How do I want people to hear me? Who am I going to be reaching? What's going to be my hook? What's going to be in my story? What kind of offer am I going to make? How much is it going to be? We are getting all of these ideas captured because we want to incorporate them in a content strategy campaign. Yeah, it's going to be posted on all my social media channels, Cheryl, so you'll be able to rewatch. And on my YouTube channel is where it'll stay, because I know Facebook won't keep it, and I don't think Instagram will either. But you'll be able to find it on my YouTube page, and I'll have a link to it on my website so you can get back to this training if you need it. But take that information, guys, launch your reintro campaign. And you're going to be posting this across all of your platforms on your website. And along with it, you're going to be giving them some type of low-level offer, right? Reintroduce yourself. Now, that offer may come just in a separate post that goes up, like scheduled to go up like a day or a couple of days later. But in essence, it's going to be matched with, now that you've met me again, here's what I'm offering in this business that means so much to me, that I want it to mean so much to you, right? And here's the difference it's going to make for you. So launch that reintro campaign, because you got to make it real. You got to make it happen. All right. And then the last thing I'm going to challenge you to do with this content strategy is go live. If you're not going live, you need to be going live to talk about your shift in what's happening, so people can actually see your face. Because again, what's happening in 2025, what's working rather in 2025, is that people are personality branding connected. So talk about yourself, invite people to connect. Don't be afraid to invite people without being salesy, because we're not just pushing for them to purchase from us. That is eventually going to be the outcome, yes. But the reintroduction has to lead to that, right? So we're not forcing this on anybody. Well, what's going to happen is with all of these steps, right? Once you get this build out, once you slow down and build this thing out, we're going to make sure that it's automated, because what's going to happen is when it's automated, that's when the magic becomes real, right? You start staying visible without you burning out. You're not revisiting so much. You're not having to post to do this so much. You're not having to batch content so much, but you're still showing up consistently without you actually burning the candle on both ends. So that's what's happening. So summer content strategy. That's the fun that I want you to have with this. You may be saying like, Coach, see, this is not, I don't know why you said this is fun. This is not how we define fun where I'm from. Look, I'm a consultant. This is fun to me. All right. This is fun to me. And I'm passing it along to y'all because I want to make it fun for you. All right. Real talk, Brandon Truce. And we're getting ready to start kind of wrapping things up here. So don't forget, if you have questions, please drop them. Have comments, please drop them. If you agree, you disagree, drop it in the comments and let me know, right? All right. Real talk, branding truths here, right? Confusion kills cash flow. So I already kind of, on a lower level, kind of discussed how confusion actually runs people off. And you can quickly think about that as far as yourself. Look at it through your eyes. When you're confused about something, how distant do you make yourself? And how quickly do you distance yourself? It's like almost immediately, right? We unplug from it. We keep scrolling. We saw something that we didn't quite understand or didn't feel like it was for us. So we immediately swipe. Immediately, like 2 seconds flat, I'm gone. If it doesn't even look like the colors are attractive for me for what I'm looking for at the time, like seriously, that's how fast we're disconnecting. Confusion kills your cash flow. So this is something that's going to bottleneck your money. If you don't do those things that I told you on the conversion slide, those 3 things, like if you don't update that bio, if you don't make sure that messaging is clear, all of that kind of stuff, you're killing your money. You're killing your money and you don't see it. So that's why you don't feel like it's eating away at your money. because you don't physically see it subtracting from your bottom line when you're neglecting these things, right? When you aren't doing these. But I promise you, these are where you're getting your hits. This is where you're actually bleeding the money that you hadn't even gotten yet, right? So kill the confusion. Kill the confusion so you don't kill your cash flow. Clarity is king. Quality over quantity all day long. You need resonance more than anything else. People want to feel, people want to experience, people want to make sure that what they're purchasing is worth their while. They want to be more than just followers. Honestly, people are looking for brand connections. So they don't just want to be followers. They want to be engagers. They want to be customers. They want to be able to say to other people, here's what I'm into. Here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm supporting. Here's where I am. Here's who I follow. Are you following this person? Are you seeing this? Are you seeing that? People want the ability to do that. Give it to them. Give them that quality. Your authenticity is always going to win in the end. So be you no matter what. There are a lot of brands out here that are doing great things. And yes, you can model yourself after them to make sure that you are getting some of the same results. You know, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to build a better mousetrap. And that trap has to be built for your environment, right? So be you. Just do it with better lighting and better direction, right? You just need another director, right? I'm saying you don't need Stephen King. You need Steven Spielberg here. That's what we're doing. We're switching over. So your brand isn't stuck, right? You're not stuck. It's just stale. And we've got to freshen it up a bit. And the best time to do that, again, is now in the summer, second quarter, so your money can be right the rest of the year. So one strong reintroduction for yourself can lead to your next breakthrough. And it often does for entrepreneurs who stop and slow down and do this for a quick second. So here's the glow up checklist. We're going to kind of round things out here. Here's your glow up checklist. You're going to redo your bio and apply your reintroduction formula that we learned today, how to put those things together. And then you're going to choose the positioning that you want by selecting your new and powerful repositioning phase. So if you're a coach like me and I'm going from starting to help and grow businesses to haven't started, don't have a plan, start here, start with me, creating, helping future CEOs build this, build that, select your new powerful positioning phrase. And don't just do this on your own. Run it through a couple of people to make sure it's as strong as you think it is, right? Third thing we're going to do on our glow up checklist is we're going to create our content series in an effort to form that channel, that experience that people want to come back and revisit, right? Plan a 5-day reintroduction campaign. So here I am. Here's the story. Here's what I offer. Here's who I offer it to. Here's why I offer it, or who or how I offer it, and here's how you can purchase. Content series, right? Take your pillars and create a content series from them that make people want to revisit your channels and to come back and do business with you, learn from you, shop with you, book with you, whatever they want to do, right? Last thing you're going to do is update your lead magnets. So your lead magnets are things that you are offering to attract people to you to purchase. So whether that's refreshing up your digital offers or making sure that you've got, it could be a discount that you're using for new customers. It could be an ebook, it could be anything at all. Lead magnets come in many forms, many forms, but you want to refresh them by aligning them with your new positioning. So maybe you've marketed it before, but the way that you're now rebranding and refreshing your brand not rebranding, but refreshing your brand to reposition you for this year and to put you in the tunnel vision of the right people who are going to purchase. You may need to update that lead magnet. You may need to change what it is altogether, but then you definitely probably want to change the message. And so you're reaching those new people. So I want you to boss up your brand, your bio, and your bank account this summer, because you are honestly just one strong reintroduction away from a breakthrough or from going viral. So I hope that today's training has been super helpful to you guys. I had a lot of fun actually teaching this today. I think it's going to be probably one of my favorites. But if you guys need help with branding, of course, and I'm trying to pin myself to the screen here. so you guys won't have any problems kind of squinting and seeing me. What I want you to understand is that you have support, right? You have tools, you have myself, you have everything in my arsenal at your disposal. There is going to be a resource that I'm going to send every participant here that you can download to help you do this. This video is going to be posted on my YouTube channel. So if you ever want to go back and rewatch the replay, you can, just to get the tidbits and the nuggets that I'm giving you here in it. The digital product that I'm going to offer you guys is going to take you through step by step on how to build this out for yourself. If you think that'll be helpful to you, if you're the type of person that watches these things and then you forget about it about 2 hours later, and then you think about it a couple of days later and you're like, yeah, I need to do that, but you still aren't going to do it, then I suggest that you download this digital product and you take the time to go through and fill it out for yourself, because it's going to lead you through the steps of how to actually implement this to convert to get more money. And then, of course, I want to know how it works. But anything else that you need, guys, with branding, I've got packages for that I'll be sending out to you. And for those of you who are on the WhatsApp channel, you'll be seeing the same thing. So you'll receive some follow-ups from me with the digital product to download to help you implement this for yourself. And I need you to do this like by the end of June, people, because we've only got about one more month left in Q2 for you to make sure that you get this stuff lined up. But it's perfect time and settle into it right now. Okay. So I will click this link, but it needs a code, position, and notes, perfect replay. I will. Yeah. I'm going to send everything. I'll send everything out following up from this. But digital product definitely for each of you, especially if you're the one who feel like, I need this, but I may not do it, and I need to be held accountable, and I need a system to help me put it in place. That's going to be for you. And then if you guys are doing more refresher access and things like that, and you need to actually look at redoing your professional logo, checking up on some of your copywriting, making sure your message is nailed down, making sure that you've got the right profiles and everything set up. If you need more of a done for you service, then I've got packages to help you with that too. But thanks again, everybody, for watching. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, Southeastern Community College Small Business Center, for hosting today's training. I am Biz Coach C. If you need me, you can find me on www.clsmgmt.com, and you can find me on all major social media outlets at clsmgmt. It's the exact same handle. So I am your business coach, and I look forward to helping you achieve so much in business and along in life as well, because if we get our businesses straight, then we can have more finances for ourselves to provide that independence that we need, because you as a small business owner will always be the backbone of what's happening in the U.S. economy. And I'm glad to be here serving you guys. So thanks for watching today, and I will follow up soon. See you guys later.